A leader with unparalleled military prowess emerged. His name was Napoleon Bonaparte, a general and political leader from France who rose to become a significant figure in world history. The story begins when Napoleon was young, dreaming of changing the fate of France amid the throes of revolution. With extraordinary strategic abilities, Napoleon began showcasing his brilliance on the battlefield. Victory after victory was achieved, propelling him rapidly through the ranks. In 1799, Napoleon successfully seized power in France after orchestrating a coup known as the 18 Brumaire coup. He then declared himself as the first consul and later crowned himself as the Emperor of the French in 1804. Napoleon aimed to establish a powerful French empire across Europe. One of the most famous moments in Napoleon's history was the Battle of Austerlitz in 1805. In this battle, Napoleon defeated the combined forces of Russia and Austria, proving his genius in military tactics. This triumph earned him the title, the Great General among his followers. Despite his exceptional military talents, Napoleon's glory was not everlasting. In 1812, he decided to invade Russia in a military campaign known as the Napoleonic Expedition to Russia. However, extreme winter conditions and Russia's meticulous warfare strategies led to a significant defeat for Napoleon's forces. This defeat marked the beginning of Napoleon's downfall. Following a series of losses, in 1814, Napoleon was forced to abdicate and was exiled to the island of Elba. However, his thirst for power remained unquenched. In 1815, he escaped from Elba and returned to France in a period known as the Hundred Days. He once again led his troops, but ultimately faced a decisive defeat. In the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon was then exiled to the island of Saint Helena, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, where he passed away in 1821. Despite his ultimate failure, Napoleon Bonaparte's leadership and military wisdom continue to inspire and spark debates to this day, leaving a profound mark on world history. After his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte's dream of a triumphant return to power shattered. The defeated emperor was once again forced to abdicate, and this time he was exiled to the remote and isolated island of Saint Helena in the South Atlantic Ocean. The final chapter of Napoleon's life unfolded against the backdrop of this desolate island. Saint Helena became his prison, where he was confined under the watchful eyes of British authorities. Isolated from the world, Napoleon spent his days reflecting on his past glories and contemplating the choices that had led to his downfall. Despite being far from the political stage, Napoleon's presence on Saint Helena did not go unnoticed. His memoirs and reflections, dictated to loyal followers, provided insights into the mind of a man who had once shaped the course of European history. These writings later compiled into a memoir known as Memoirs de Saint Helene. Memoirs of Saint Helene offered a glimpse into Napoleon's thoughts on war, politics, and leadership. During his exile, Napoleon's health deteriorated, exacerbated by the harsh conditions of the island. In May 1821, at the age of 51, Napoleon Bonaparte succumbed to stomach cancer. His death marked the end of an era that had witnessed the rise and fall of one of the most remarkable military and political figures in history. Napoleon's remains were initially interred on Saint Helena, but in 1840, his body was repatriated to France. A grand state funeral was held, and he was buried at Les Invalides in Paris, a site traditionally reserved for military leaders. Despite his complex legacy and the controversies surrounding his rule, Napoleon Bonaparte's impact on the world and the course of history is undeniable, ensuring that his name would be forever etched in the annals of time. As Napoleon Bonaparte faced the solitude of Saint Helena, his health gradually declined. The harsh conditions of the island, combined with the stress of exile and his past campaigns, took a toll on the once indomitable leader. In the final months of his life, Napoleon battled a persistent illness that turned out to be stomach cancer. As his health deteriorated, Napoleon spent much of his time in seclusion, reflecting on his past and dictating his memoirs to loyal aides. The island, with its rugged terrain and remote location, became both a physical and metaphorical prison for the fallen emperor. News of his declining health spread across Europe, drawing attention to the man who had once commanded armies and reshaped the continent. In May 1821, the inevitable came to pass. Napoleon Bonaparte, the architect of grand conquests and military strategies, succumbed to his illness at the age of 51. His death marked the end of an era and left an indelible impact on world history. In May 1821, the inevitable came to pass. Napoleon Bonaparte, the architect of grand conquests and military strategies, succumbed to his illness at the age of 51. His death marked the end of an era and left an indelible impact on world history. His body was initially interred on Saint Helena, but in 1840, after years of negotiations and political changes in France, his remains were repatriated. A grand state funeral was held in Paris, and Napoleon Bonaparte found his final resting place at Les Invalides, a revered location reserved for military leaders. Napoleon's legacy, both as a brilliant military strategist and a complex political figure, continues to captivate historians and enthusiasts alike. His rise to power, military campaigns, and ultimate downfall serve as a compelling narrative that unfolds against the backdrop of a transformative period in European history.